Welcome to the Deep Dive by Global Heroes, your go-to for the real stories behind real heroes. Get more inspiring content in your inbox with our newsletter, and be sure to follow along on social media. Okay, let's dive in. Imagine this place, right? Where summer just kind of drifts into fall, all golden and crisp. And it's packed with music, history, amazing food. That's what we're digging into today. We've got this great article about Delaware County, New York, the Great Western Catskills specifically. And our mission, well, it's to pull out the best bits, the real highlights, so you get a shortcut to knowing what makes this area special, from summer right through autumn.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about this piece is how it paints this picture of a place that's rich in experiences, not just pretty sights. It really leans into that idea of stay for what you find, which isn't just a slogan. It's about discovering those little unexpected things that stick with you. We're talking music, adventure, arts, that small town feel, quite a mix.
Okay, so let's start with the sound, the music. Because if you love music, it sounds like this region really kicks off summer perfectly. The Honest Brook Music Festival in Meredith. It immediately caught my eye. I mean, 36 seasons, that says something, right? And it's not just any concert series, it's classical music, featuring both rising stars and, established names, in an open-air venue.
Oh, absolutely. That setting sounds incredible. Can you imagine, hearing a violin or cello, but outdoors, with the leaves rustling? It's a totally different vibe than a stuffy concert hall, much more organic. The article mentions specific dates too, July 19th, August 3rd, August 10th. So it's a chance to really feel the music with the landscape.
That sounds incredible. And then, switching gears completely, but still kind of cool and nostalgic, vintage baseball. This isn't just like a pickup game. They recreate 1800s baseball. Wooden bats, no gloves, which, wow, makes you appreciate modern gear, doesn't it?
Right. Ouch.
Yeah. And they wear the classic uniforms. You can actually go cheer for teams like the Bovina Dairymen or the Delhi Polecats. Love those names. They play July 19th in Bovina. And then there's this bigger thing, the Cowtown Scramble Festival, October 4th to 6th, with lots of teams.
What's great about that vintage baseball idea is it's not just looking at history. It's like doing it, playfully anyway. It connects people to the past in a really tangible way. This, reading a book just can't. You're right there cheering like it's, 100-something years ago. And it does make you wonder, how many places offer, world-class classical music outside and the step back into old-timey baseball? It really speaks to a unique local character, an authentic feel.
That's a great way to put it. And the history vibe doesn't stop there. Just before that fall baseball festival on September 20th, there's the 9th annual Catskill Conquest Rally. This sounds amazing. Vintage cars, actual classic cars driving the route of this historic 1903 auto endurance run.
Yeah.
The movie museum.
Yeah, it's another great example of how they embrace their history, from the simple sport of early baseball to the early cars. It's all about experiencing history in motion. It gives you that deeper connection, lets you appreciate how things have changed.
Definitely. So what this means for you, the listener, is that whether you're into beautiful music or the crack of an old wooden bat or, cool old cars, there's something really unique waiting there. But beyond those sort of standout events, this deep dive also really showed us the heart of the Catskills seems to be in its community stuff, the local happenings, like Andy's Community Day on August 2nd. The article paints it as just pure Catskills hospitality, parades, fireworks, music, food, just a whole lot of local pride on display.
That sounds like the kind of event where you just, show up and instantly feel welcomed, like you're part of it. That stay for what you find idea really comes through there. It's about that genuine community warmth.
Exactly, that connection. And if you're into art, hands-on stuff, there's the AMR Artists Open Studio Tours. That's July 25th to 27th. It's a chance to actually go into artist studios, see where they work, maybe chat with them, find something unique. And then for maybe a different kind of vibe, a recharge, there's the Catskill Mountain Yoga Festival, July 26th in Delhi. Sounds like a big one. 50 sessions, experienced teachers, all in that beautiful setting.
What strikes me there is the variety. From the big community party to the really personal experience of visiting an artist's space. It's about getting plugged into the local rhythm, not just driving through. These aren't just things to do. They're ways to engage. Whether you're watching a parade, doing yoga in nature, or talking art in a studio, there are all these different levels of connection.
And speaking of connection, you can't really talk about the Catskills without talking about farms, right? The article mentions Bovina Farm Day, August 31st. Sounds super family-friendly, lots of hands-on farm stuff, meeting local producers, tasting food grown right there. Seems like a really authentic way to Connect with the agricultural side of things. Taste the local flavor.
Absolutely. It's that farm-to-table idea, but really direct. You're right there. You meet the people growing the food. That focus on local, on artisan products, it seems to run through everything in Delaware County.
It really does. And as summer starts thinking about fall, the article points to Maplewood Farm and Orchard.
Yeah.
Classic fall stuff, pumpkin picking, corn mazes, maybe some rodeo games, hay rides. Sounds like the perfect fall afternoon, really. Crisp air, apple smells. But hey, it's not all gentle strolls and pumpkin patches. If you're looking for more of a challenge, more adventure, they've got that too. For cyclists, there's the Catskill Mountain Cycling Challenge. That's September 14th out of Arkville. Looks like they have different routes, 29, 50, even 100-miler. Scenic, but definitely a workout.
And if you want something even tougher, like really rugged, there's the Catskill Mountain Crusher on October 4th. That's a gravel ride through the mountains. Sounds intense. These events really show off the landscape, using that natural beauty for some serious endurance stuff.
That's a great point. Thinking bigger picture, it just shows how versatile the place is. You go from peaceful outdoor concerts and farm visits to these hardcore mountain trails.
Right.
It's clear the environment itself is a huge part of the appeal. It invites you to relax and it invites you to push yourself. Something for everyone, outdoors-wise.
Totally. And then, to kind of wrap up the season with a bang, the article talks about the Maple Shade Hootenanny. Delhi, October 11th and 12th. Sounds like a big, fun, high-energy party. Shopping, food, games, family stuff. Just a lively community bash.
That hootenanny sounds like the perfect finale, pulling everything together. Community, local stuff, just celebrate. It really captures how they mark the seasons changing,
Yeah.
Sending summer off with a proper good time. Yeah. So bottom line, from chill farm days to tough bike rides and finishing with a big hootenanny, this area knows how to celebrate right through the seasonal shift. So our source points out some really interesting local spots for food and drink, like Wayside Cider in Andes. It's not just cider, it's about local apples, that craft beverage scene that's popping up. Imagine sipping cider by a fire pit. Nice.
Yeah.
Then Brushland Eating House in Bovina sounds cozy, hearty food, like a warm hug. And another cider place, Awestruck Cider in Sydney, doing innovative stuff. Plus others mentioned for the full local experience, Hamden Inn, Yokel, Oda Wine Garden in Margaretville. Lots of options to taste the region.
Yeah, and the key thing here, I think, is that these aren't just restaurants. They're part of the experience. They give you a real taste of the local character using local ingredients. It's about savoring what defines Delaware County. A lot of these places really seem to champion local farmers, local artisans. So it's an authentic connection.
That local flavor is key. And it sounds like the places to stay follow that same idea, offering unique experiences, not just a room. You've got places like the Roxbury Motel, known for its wild-themed rooms, like the stay itself is an adventure.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one. Very cool.
Right. Then there's Stony Creek Farmstead for something more down-to-earth, connecting with farm life. But then, totally different, these rustic luxe domes at North Star Farms. Glamping, basically. Sipping cider under the stars in a fancy dome.
It's fascinating the range, even in where you sleep. It's not just about finding a bed, it's choosing an environment that adds to your trip, whether it's quirky design or being on a working farm or just surrounded by nature in a cool dome. Each one offers a way to make real memories.
And that kind of brings us full circle, doesn't it? To the end of our deep dive into Delaware County, New York. A place that really seems to deliver on that stay for what you find idea. From the music festivals and the vintage baseball to the community days, the art tours, the farms, the adventures. It's just this amazing blend. It really feels like a place where you make memories. You don't just, see sights.
It does raise a question, though, for you listening. In our world, which is so fast, right? How much do we value places that actually invite us to slow down a bit? To engage with local stuff, local traditions, and really stay for what we find instead of just ticking boxes. Like, what surprising moments, what little aha discoveries could you have in a place like Delaware County if you let yourself explore beyond the main attractions? It's about finding those personal connections, those unique bits that really stick with you.
Well, we hope this deep dive gave you a good shortcut, a good feel for this really charming region, and maybe, just maybe, sparked an idea for your next trip. Until next time, thanks for listening to the Global Heroes Podcast. Stay uplifted with our newsletter. Follow us on your favorite socials and experience more stories of hope in It's a Beautiful World on Prime Video.